This is Drayton Michaels. Welcome to 8 Limbs. This is the very first episode. So we're going to start off with a little bit of a background on what this show is going to be about and how we're going to do it, what it's going to entail. Like the title says, 8 Limbs is strengthening the canine-human bond. That is the main point here. So know that all of our episodes are going to be about that. And whatever that entails. So we're going to cover a wide range of subjects, and one of the things that I'm definitely going to focus on is I'm going to focus on the human behavior, and we're going to talk about dog behavior. Don't get me wrong, we're definitely going to talk about dogs and behavior with dogs, but we are going to focus and always come back to human behavior, because that is the biggest variable as to how well a dog will do in training or in general throughout their life. It's the human behavior that we need to be very concerned about, because that human behavior is the biggest variable in the environment. And to quote one of my mentors and former teachers, Dr. Susan Friedman, behavior is in the environment, not in the dog. So that means that something has to occur in the environment for the dog to behave or respond in a certain manner. And humans, by and large, are the ones who control the vast majority of the dog's environment to one degree or another. So we are going to focus a lot on human behavior. You know, the main impetus for doing this show and to finally putting all my thoughts out on film as opposed to blogs or, other educational videos is, to be quite honest, I'm sick of the BS and the nonsense and the misinformation. So I finally have a bit of time, and I'm going to start digging through that BS and that nonsense. And it isn't just going to be about me. This show, 8 Limbs, is a conduit of information, and we are going to have some great guests. As a matter of fact, just to name a few, we have a fabulous trainer, and what else can I say about Ann Springer? Just a fabulous human being. I paused there because she's done so much behind the scenes and in her state of Massachusetts to help dogs and horses, I might add, that it's a little daunting how much she's done in her time. She's really a true warrior out there spreading the legitimate info. We're going to have the fabulous Nikki Tudge, who is the founder of the Pet Professionals Guild. We're going to have an interview with her. I just spoke with my good friend Deirdre Franklin from Pinups for Pit Bulls, and she's going to be doing an interview as well. So we're going to have a lot of guests on these shows, as many as we can get. I also have some just regular folks who might not necessarily be in the forefront of the advocacy or training movements, but nonetheless are still doing really good work in their own right. So this isn't just about folks who've created a name for themselves. This is about anybody who has really valuable information in the way of dog training and behavior or advocacy for all dogs. And yes, we're going to talk about pit bulls a lot on this show, so get used to it. A warning to the potential haters. I can already tell you right now that the comments on YouTube are going to be shut off and approved. As far as the Facebook page, 8 Limbs, all I can say is don't waste your time. I'm just going to laugh and delete. If you have anything that is truly aggressive and you're just going to want to cause and foment some sort of drama or problems, then you can keep moving, because we're just not going to deal with it. However, with that said, if you have some really good information, if you have some valuable information and you want to share it, again, we're more than happy to get you part of this show and part of this community, 8 Limbs. Okay, our first topic that we're going to discuss here on 8 Limbs is going to be a big topic, and at least a big topic among dog trainers who are aware of this, and the astute dog guardians. We're going to talk about the licensing of pet dog trainers. There's been a number of incidents over the years, and also recently in the news, that have prompted some people to want to license pet dog trainers. I've written a couple of blogs on this subject for the Pet Professionals Guild, and my feeling is that licensing will not solve any problems or fix any current issues in the profession of pet dog training. Number one, it's not about licensing. It's about education. And then past that, it's about getting the proper education, learning the ins and outs of applied animal behavior analysis, working on your mechanics, and using a force-free and pain-free approach so that dogs are not given unnecessary fear and pain. Remember something, the only thing that dogs generalize well is fear. So why cause them more? To quote Dr. Susan Friedman, you don't need to add any fear or pain into your dog's life. The environment in the 21st century will provide more than enough fear and hopefully no pain, but definitely stress and fear will enter your dog's life. So what is needed from the human is actually counter conditioning. And currently in the profession of pet dog training, there are a lot of trainers who are using harmful methods that are causing dogs a lot of issues, and we need to clean that up. And we need to get these pain trainers on board so that they can really help dogs and not cause any more problems. So until we can get the proper education of pet dog trainers fixed and unified so that we're not using shock collars and prong collars and blaming dogs and flipping them over and pushing them down and all these harmful things that people are doing because they think the dog is dominating them, that needs to get cleaned up. And on that subject of dogs dominating humans, that's an absolute ridiculous notion, okay? And we're going to get into that. Okay, let's get down to business here with this licensing of pet dog trainers. Let me just give you guys some quick overviews. First of all, we need to educate, don't legislate. Government should leave the culture to us to maintain and to manage, okay? I don't necessarily trust that the state governments of any state are going to know anything about pet dog training or dog behavior or human behavior as it relates to dogs past keep your dogs on leash and spay and neuter your pets and register your dogs. That's all the city needs to really know about, the town, the state, etc., as far as I'm concerned. To be quite honest, vets are the key to having a better consumer choice, okay? So vets are usually considered the most educated in the community when it comes to animals, and dogs are often referred for training by vets. So vets really need to understand dog behavior and training. They need to understand how human behavior can cause issues. They need to get with it. And again, I've blogged about this for the Pet Professional Guild. Again, this isn't an indictment on vets, but Dr. Karen Overall said when I interviewed her that it is an indictment on the veterinary education system that vets are not receiving proper education when it comes to animal behavior. So that is sorely needed in vet schools. And I'll be quite honest, positive trainers, you all need to get your game up. All right, let's stop playing around. Okay, if you want this culture to be the best that it can be, you need to be the best that you can be, okay? So let's stop playing around here, okay? I don't care how long you've been in the game. You need to learn. You need to always learn and keep learning. That's how you're going to be the best, all right? Myself included, I'm constantly studying, learning, watching videos of myself train, and I don't take what I do lightly. And if you want to have people make the right choice, then you need to become a phenomenal trainer so that when you finish a session or a class and people are out talking about their experience, regardless of what the experience was, you need to know that you're world class. You can get dogs to do behaviors and they'll have fun doing it. And if there's issues like fear and aggression, that you have the plans and you have the insights so that you can create a safe environment for that family. And you need to get your game up, positive trainers. Pain trainers, y'all need to get with it. And you need to step over to the proper, legitimate side to animal training. Okay? The greatest animal trainers in the world do not use fear and pain. Okay? Only the hacks do. I'm going to be real honest. I'm going to be real blunt. Okay? So dogs were part of human culture some 20,000 years before agriculture. They've been with us a long time, and it's been theorized by just about anybody who studies these sorts of things that we probably wouldn't have had the civilization that we have now and been able to survive without dogs. So we owe them a great debt, and they do not deserve to be shocked, kicked, blamed, choked, or any other form of fear or pain do they deserve. So you pain trainers who think you're doing some great work out there, you're just finding some dogs that can withstand that stress, and the vast majority of them can't. So if all of us want this culture of pet dog training to flourish, truly flourish, and we want consumers to have safe choices, then we all need to get our game together, and we all need to make sure that we're doing all the proper things we need to do to protect dogs and consumers when they are training their dogs. So that's my spiel on that. Let's talk about this idea of dogs dominating human beings. First of all, I call it DominNonsense because it's founded in nonsense. Dogs cannot dominate human beings. Dogs do not have the cognition to formulate a moral imperative, so they're not stubborn or jealous or trying to dominate you or lead the pack in your house or any of that nonsense. I'm not sure exactly how or where that started, but I know where it became popular, and you should ignore that TV show that espouses that theory because there's a lot of problems with that theory and that show. Now, let's break this down. There's a number of research papers that have come to the conclusion through verified, legitimate research that dogs have the cognition roughly of a 2 or 3-year-old child. And this is when they reach social maturity around the age of 2. So when you take that for what it's worth, and it's worth a lot, and you look at some of the harmful methods that people are employing to train dogs, it's just egregious on every level. There's no need to cause dogs fear and pain. There's no need to think that they're dominating you. All that does is create an adversarial relationship, and we don't need that. Dogs are our family members. Personally, I consider myself to be a dog guardian, not an owner, but a guardian, because I feel as though I am here and others are here to protect dogs because they are truly innocent. So we need to do away with this whole idea that dogs are dominating us and creating some sort of problem on purpose. I often tell people there are roughly 30,000 dogs running loose in the city of St. Louis, Missouri. I believe the last statistic that I heard for Los Angeles was a couple of million stray dogs. Why is it we don't see or hear stories of packs of dogs taking out hundreds of people? These are dogs that are fearful, hungry, and more likely than not have formed packs. Okay, so these dogs are definitely prime candidates to act upon this supposed moral imperative if they had one, and you never have heard that story. Yes, dogs do attack people, and we will address that subject in later episodes, but it is usually a micro incident where it is somebody's dog in a neighborhood that's got issues, and somehow all of the confluences of human behavior have come to a boiling point, and now that dog with those issues has bitten someone or mauled them or, sadly, yes, even killed them. But very rare do we see that with dogs, okay? So dogs do not have the ability to create a moral imperative and dominate you. Trust me, okay? And trust others. It doesn't exist, and you shouldn't buy into it. All right, let me give some shout-outs here. I want to thank the DogSpaw in Little Silver, New Jersey. It's a great place for grooming your dog. It's a great place to get food, treats, supplements, harnesses. They're a great organization. Been going to the DogSpaw since day one. Fabulous people over there. They're in Little Silver, New Jersey. So for those of you in the Jersey area, the South Jersey area, go check them out. I also want to give a big shout out to Thrive Veterinary Wellness Center. Amazing veterinarians, very knowledgeable on food, on nutrition. They do chiropractic, and they also do acupuncture. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous people over there. Cannot give them enough big thumbs up. So if you are looking for an alternative to your regular veterinary visits and you want to do a wellness check on your dog just to make sure that everything is tip-top, I highly recommend Thrive Veterinary Wellness Center, also in Little Silver, New Jersey. Seems like Little Silver is the place these days for pet services, huh? Yeah, these guys over there at both the DogSpaw and Thrive doing great work. Lastly, I want to thank the Pet Professional Guild. This is a great organization. They work tirelessly to educate both pet professionals and dog guardians. They're dedicated to 100% positive dog training. All right? They're one of the leaders out here working towards educating both consumers of pet dog training and professional dog trainers on how to do things legitimately safely to make sure that everybody is getting the best they deserve. So once again, thanks to the Pet Professionals Guild for doing a great job out there educating the world about dogs and dog training. Thanks for watching 8 Limbs. My name is Drayton Michaels. It's been a pleasure to bring you this information today. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Don't forget to pass on this information that you have learned today to your family, your friends, your neighbors, fellow dog guardians, etc. That's what this show is about, getting the proper information out there. So thanks again for tuning in to 8 Limbs. We'll see you next episode. Until then, remember, behavior that's rehearsed becomes stronger. So rehearse positive behavior. Take care of yourselves. Peace.